What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. There is some crazy information that is coming down right now regarding the Nintendo Switch Pro. It has been data mined from a foreign Nintendo Switch. This is coming from Centro Pokemon, which is a fairly reliable Twitter handle with over 150,000 followers. And while it's in a different language, I'm going to translate it for you here. We're going to go through what the specs are and what to expect from this thing. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell for notifications so you do not miss an upload. I have covered the Nintendo Switch Pro at great length over the past... feels like ever since the Switch launched, people were talking about the Switch Pro. But at least the last 2 years, we've been talking about this thing. And in 2020, there were lots of reports where it was basically presumed to be launching eventually. And it never did. Basically pushing it into 2021. Who knows if it was the pandemic that caused the delay or if Nintendo just never planned on launching it in 2020. But regardless, we find ourselves right now, as of recording this video, in January 2021, and news has surfaced from data mining the current Switch. Gonna check out this tweet here from Centro Pokemon, where it says, after translating from Spanish, SciresM, known creator of the CFW Atmosphere for Nintendo Switch, has revealed details of the new revision, popularly known as the Nintendo Switch Pro, thanks to details that Nintendo had left in its firmware of the original Switch, codenamed Classroom. And it goes on to give details on this Switch Pro. Nintendo has been gradually including firmware support for about 2 years. It uses the same Mariko SoC, system on chip, currently used by Switch Lite and Switch version 2, the one with the better battery. It will continue to have support for portable mode. It is not just desktop. That's a big one right there, because there are people saying that the Switch Pro is going to be so powerful that it can't be a Switch anymore. It's just going to be for the TV alone and be basically battling the PS5 and Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. This right here already proclaims it to not be the case. In fact, it will actually be a Switch, as opposed to the Switch Lite, which is still called a Switch, but you can't switch it to TV mode, so it's not really a Switch. But let's not get into nomenclatures right now. Let's keep going, because there's a lot of details here that they go through. This is good stuff. Okay, next thing. Includes support for 4K. It is speculated that this will be thanks to the new Realtek 4K UHD multimedia SoC, system on chip, in the dock. Current Switch models will not be able to take advantage of this new dock to have more power. So this new dock will not just be a minor upgrade that you can put your old Switch into. It will be compatible only with the new Switch Pro revision. It will have an OLED screen, and oh man, for those of you who are not in the know when it comes to screens, OLED is, I mean, I'm sure there are other things out there, but as far as my buddy who's really into screens, OLED is like the top of the line thing that you can get, and he loves OLED, so that is a very, very good point right there. Continues to go on here with more information. Speculation that there will be games optimized for the new revision, just as there were with DSi or PS4 Pro. And then there's a source here that they go through with even more details. And this thread has been archived, so you can't add anything to it anymore. It looks like as of about, we'll say 12 or 13 days ago, they've been going through this and just realized that there's information on the Switch Pro with the latest revision when they did a little bit of data mining on it. So this is a big deal. This is clear evidence and proof that the Switch Pro is definitely coming. And since they accidentally, we're going to assume, left this information on the regular Switch right now that was able to be data mined, it tells me that the Switch Pro isn't too far away from getting announced. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to hear about this thing getting announced in the first quarter of 2021, which would be very exciting. Most likely, that means it would be a late first quarter or mid second quarter launch for this thing. Would be a good revision for the Switch cycle, which, I mean, Switches are not having a problem selling right now. They're still selling out everywhere because of the pandemic. But this console refresh will be coming at a time where more people would want to get one of these that already have a Nintendo Switch. It would add another stream of revenue and give people a reason to buy more games from Nintendo, myself included. I already have 2 Switches. I would want to get a third one for my daughter, but I'm like, no, I don't need 3 Switches. But with this coming out, yeah, okay, I'll get a third Switch. So people like me would definitely jump for this. I'm sure there are plenty of other people out there that are just waiting to upgrade to a Switch Pro or waiting to buy a Switch for the first time and have waited 3 years to buy a Switch, and they're like, if I waited this long, I'll just wait for the next revision of it. It looks like it's not too far off. And if you waited 3 years for a Switch, you can wait a few months more based off of the information that we're seeing here. So this is pretty intense information. It's the most detailed, the most concrete information that I have seen yet, covering this thing for over 3 years if you go before the original Switch launched. This right here is breaking news. It's a very big deal. And like I said, I'm expecting a Switch Pro announcement to be official from Nintendo very soon. I might be wrong. This is all speculation and conjecture, so take all rumors with a grain of salt, but this is a little bit more than a rumor because it's being officially data mined from the Switch. They got all this out of the basic information that they left in the coding from the Nintendo Switch during an update. So it has a little bit more oomph, a little bit more potency, if you will, as far as believability. I'm running with this. I feel like this is the case, and I am truly, genuinely excited for it. I do have some concerns, of course, which I'm sure we'll detail in another video in the future, talking about if they're going to start making exclusive games for the Switch Pro that won't be compatible with the previous version, like what they did with the 3DS and the new 3DS, which didn't really work out that well. They only did it with a few games and then just kind of dropped it when they moved on to the Switch. So there's a lot to talk about with this in the future, but I'm not going to keep rambling right now. I just want to give you guys the heads up as soon as possible to be one of the first to break this to you guys. I'll put all the links in the description if you want to detail it any further. But as of right now, this is what we got. Central Pokemon on Twitter with a translated tweet and an entire board going through the entire speculation, the entire data mining, all the information that I just went through, and talking about the potential when this console is going to be coming out. So, exciting stuff. I'm going to leave it right there. But before I go, let me know what you guys think about this. Are you excited about a Switch Pro? Would you upgrade? Would you be pissed if they start making some exclusive games for it after you just got a Nintendo Switch? Let me know how you feel about this in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.